Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to JT's The Darkness Awakens Hangout. Breakfast with JT. Yes, breakfast with JT. I got some good. I just had me boiled egg, old school with salt and pepper. I'm sipping on some coffee, and let me get a little sippy sip here. I'm drinking fresh vanilla coffee with some orange juice, and we gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it back like I used to do. Now I'm doing some history that I was doing before, and I'm gonna read about the 1968 Olympic Games that got something to do with Tommie Smith and John Carlos. Here we go. The 1968 Olympics human rights salutes was a political demonstration conduct by African-American athletes, by Tommie Smith and John Carlos. It was more athletes was doing that, but they was the one that spearheaded. I have to put that in. During a medal ceremony of October 16, 1968, that was in Mexico City, Mexico. That's when the games were. That's where the Olympics was at. Mexico City, Mexico. At the 1968 Summer Olympic Games at the Olympic Stadium in Mexico City. After Smith and Carlos won gold and bronze medal respectively in the 200 meters running event, they turned on the podium to face their flags and hear the American national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Each athlete raised a black glove fist, and kept them raised until the anthem has finished. In addition, Smith Carlos, and Australian silver medalist Peter Norman. I'm gonna stop there right here. Peter Norman was a forgotten person because he came in second. But what happened was later on, while he passed away, he respect what they doing. And then white supremacists back then, I'm talking about the mindset trying to have him to turn against them. But when he was talking about humanity, that's what they was talking about. And he respect them. And they became best of friends after the games. And when he died, when Peter Norman died in Australia, Tommie Smith and John Carlos was there. And they was very hurt because that was their friend. Because Peter Norman, his story was never really told. He was like the forgotten. He was white. He was forgotten. But he respect what Tommie Smith and John Carlos stand for. And he took a lot from it. Australia had abandoned him and everything. I just want to throw that in. Okay, where I'm at. Okay. And Australian silver medalist Peter Norman all wore human rights badges on their jackets. His autobiography, Silent Gesture, Smith states that the gesture was not a Black Power salute, but a human rights salute. And we have to understand back then, they're trying to make things nationalist and stuff like that, but it was a human right. We have the right to exist. You understand, family? We have the right to exist. And that's what Tommie Smith and John Carlos was saying. It's our right. It's our human right to exist. That's why one of the reasons they my heroes. I'm gonna keep on going, but I want to say this. That's why I those are my heroes. That's part one of the reasons I said my existence. Because back then they didn't care for our existence. They still consider us second-class citizens. And until this day, they still consider us second-class citizens. Let me repeat that again. And today, they still consider us second-class citizens. Have we made some progress? Yes. Do we got a long way to go? Yes. And we still got to keep on working. They set the bar, and we lose it. And we need to learn from these people that paved the way for us. And I ain't talking about no ancient times. I'm talking about recent at this prison. At this. This year makes 50 years anniversary had they make their stand in Mexico City, Mexico, Summer Games, Olympic City in 1968. That's the same year Martin Luther King has got assassinated. That's the same year Robert F. Kennedy got assassinated. That's the same year. That's the same year that all this turmoil was happening. That's where the hippies was like really deep back, especially in the Bay. That's when the Vietnam War was not popular. So 1968 for our people is very vital and very important. And we need to pay attention to that. That's when the Black Panthers was really getting popular. That's when during the time they start creating chapters around the world. Because other nationalities, they respect our existence to fight. This also the time, that's when Fred Hampton of Chicago started making his mark. You know, a year later, he got assassinated. This is not also 1968. This is during the time that Adam Clayton Powell won his seat back despite they took his seniority away in Congress. He had a runoff with nobody running, and Harlem still sending back to Congress. Also, music back in 1968, you got Sly and the Family Stone. You got Marvin Gaye. Really, at that time, he stopped being really political of his unreleased tracks. You got quite a few people start making their mark in the late 60s. You got Jimi Hendrix. He starts seeing things for what it is. He made a song. He played a Star Banger. He played a Star Banger in of a tribute of Dr. Martin Luther King. And he starts singing it there because at that time, Jimi Hendrix, they considered him a hippie. He considered himself hippie, but he starts seeing the slaughter and the injustice of us as a people, and he stopped changing. He really started changing to be radical. That's during the time instead of Jimi Hendrix, he created the Jimi Hendrix Experience. He wrote songs for our issues. So 1968 is very prevalent and important in our history. And we need to pay attention to that. We need to learn more about that. And also the Black actors and the actors, we was fighting for good parts that don't say nothing about instead of, because back then they were saying a lot of derogatory things of the Black family. So the Black actors and the actors we have to fight for good roles that say that that we got good roles that talk about us as a people. Even music. Even Motown back then, back then, they were saying great music, but they was not really political. But a lot of political stopped saying, they were saying a lot of stuff politically back in, in the late 60s. Started like 1968. The Philadelphia sound in the late 60s, they started making their mark. We know they definitely make their mark in the 70s. That's another story. James Baldwin at the time was speaking out, still speaking out, the injustices of our people. The Nation of Islam was So basically, and I was going on, and I was 2 years old at the time. Martin Luther King matter of fact, he passed away on April 4th. He got assassinated April 4th. I was born June 4th. And so 68 was a pivotal part for us as a people globally. And that was also during the times that the African nations will fight against colonialism too. Now I'm talking about a few years back from the stuff I said from late 50s and early 60s. That's when the African they stopped. They finally got their independence. But even in 68, they still have some African nations still have to fight for their existence too. See, people think white supremacy is just Europeans. No, they are different. They are different countries fit right under the umbrella of white supremacy policy, like I always say. Lyndon Johnson, he was still president, but he passed away. He was getting sick at the time, but he passed away of that year. The CIA was spreading lies against Black Panthers and other nations that stand against the policies of the oppression of melanin people and other people. So it was a lot was going on like in 68. Edgar J. Hoover was a CIA. He was the head of CIA for over 30 years. He was the one who was spreading lies, had throw a lot of things against us as a people, the Black Panthers, caused friction and stuff. The bastard, he passed away in 69 too. So we have to understand that 68, we got to put respect on that year for us as a people. And it's not that long. It's not that long, family. Big 50 years. It's not that long. And we need to tell our kids about 60. I just need to throw that in because I want y'all to know how important was our people, how we were mobilizing at those trying times. And that was also the times that when Martin Luther King got shot, we took it to the streets. Yeah, and then the one thing that we did wrong and everything, we burned our own neighborhoods, our businesses. And we never really recovered. And I'm not saying all of it is our fault because it ain't. I'm not going to say that. But some of it is our fault. And they still have restrictions on us right now. But at the same time, we got to mobilize. We could learn from 1968. We could definitely learn from that. Gonna talk about more. International Olympic Committee response. President Avery Bondage, deemed to be a domestic political statement unfit for the apologetic international forum after Olympic Games was intended to be. In response to their actions, he ordered Smith and Collins suspended from the U.S. team and banned from the Olympic Village. When the U.S. Olympic Committee refused, Bondage threatened to ban the entire U.S. track team. This threat led to the expulsion of 2 athletes from the game. That's Tommie Smith and John Collins. A spokesman for the IOC said Smith and Collins' actions was a deliberate and violent breach of the fundamental principles of Olympic spirit. Now, I'm going to say this because part of that was part he was working on a white supremacist policy. And that is true. Later on, they find that out. He ended up got thrown out. Now I'm talking about in the 70s now. But I got to put that in. Okay. Bondage was the president of the United States Olympic Committee in 1936. He made no objections against the Nazi salute during the Berlin Olympics. Now, 1936, I'm going to stop here. Now, 1936, why it sounds familiar? Because I did a story about Jesse Owens and McCaff. Now, I did a story of Jesse Owens. He won gold all his games, and McCaff won silver. Okay, now I did a story of both of them, so I want you to go to my channel and look it up, and then you will see the connection. Okay, why I'm at. Commit things. He argued that a Nazi salute, being a national salute at the time, was acceptable in completion of nations, while the athlete salute was not a nation, therefore unaccepted. He was part of the United States and he accepted. So again, it proven that he was working under white supremacist policy. Mindset legislation. That's right here. Bondage was accused of being one of the United States' most prominent Nazis, sympathetic even after the outbreak of the Second World War. That means he was working for the Germans. And his removal, president of the IOC, has been one of the 3 states objectives of the Olympic Project Human Rights. In 2013, the official IOC website states that over and above winning medals, the Black American athlete was named for themselves by an act of racial protest. You see, when we play ball the right way and we win the right way, they kick us back. But see, what we could learn from that is this, that they kept on going. We kept on going as a people. We were resilient, strong. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to the chat in a few minutes. I didn't forget about your family. I just want to get this out the way. Aftermath. Smith and Collins was largely ostracized by the U.S. sporting establishment. They were subject to criticism. Time magazine, October 1998, wrote, "Faster, higher, stronger is the motto of Olympic Games. Anger, nastier, uglier, better described scenes in America, in Mexico City last week." That's in '68. Back home, both Smith and Collins were subject to abuse, and their families received death threats. Smith continued athletics play for the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals before he became assistant professor of physical education of Oberlin College. In 1995, he helped coach the U.S. team at the World Indoor Championship at Barcelona. In 1999, he was awarded the California Black Sportsman, Sportsman, the Millennium Award. Now he is now a public speaker. Carlos' career followed as a similar path. He tied for a 100-yard dash world record follow year. Carlos also tried professional football, was a 15th round selection in the 1970 NFL draft, but knee injuries curtailed his tryout with the Philadelphia Eagles. He then went on the Canadian Football League where he played one season for the Montreal Alouettes. He fell upon hard times in the late 70s. In 1977, his wife committed suicide, leaving him for a period of depression. Wow. See, while they was going through it, the family was going through it. And sometimes we just succumb. We can't take it no more. Wow. I remember I did a book report on this on both of them back in when I was junior high school. Wow. That's something. In 82, Carlos was employed by the organized committee for the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles to promote the games, to act as a liaison with the city black community. In 1985, he became the track and field coach at Palm Spring High School. As of 2012, Carlos worked as a counselor at the school. Smith and Carlos received an Arthur Ashe Courage Award in 2008 ESPY Awards honor. Actually, I remember watching that. That was a big moment for us as a people. Norman was sympathetic to his competitive protests, were cautioned by Chef Dimension Julius Patchett and criticized by conservatives of the Australian media. He was not picked for the 1972 Summer Olympic Games. Yeah, Peter Norman been through a lot, family. And everybody think Australia was, oh, they liberal. No, they always been conservative. They always been racist. Until this day, they took it to the next level. They was one of the few continents that wiped out us as black people. I think they called Tasmanians, if I'm not mistaken, the story. But look it up for yourself. Don't quote me. But they wipe us out. I need to say that. And that's facts. He was not picked for the 1972 Olympics, despite having qualified 13 times over. Wow, incredible. In fact, Australia did not send any male sprinters to all the 1972 Olympics for the first time since modern Olympic beginning in 1896. When Norman died in 2006, Smith and Carlos were pallbearers at his funeral. I said that somewhat, but wow. Like I said, they were their best friends. They kept in contact. They were fighting the same fight for humanity. Peter Norman was the most decorated athlete in Australia. And they denied him in 72. They denied him all along throughout these years. But the one thing that them three have in common is to fight to be in existence. Peter Norman understand Tommy Smith and John Carlos struggle, and John Carlos and Tommy Smith understand their struggle, his struggle. Australia's officials say they supported Norman at the 1968 Games, did not punish him, and always regarded one of our finest Olympians. That's Norman represented Australia in the 1970 Commonwealth Games and suffered a knee injury prior to 1972, which severe affect his performance. Wayne Corbett and Vincent Matthews was banned from the Olympics after staging a similar protest in 1972 games in Munich. So it goes to show, not many moons ago, this shit makes 50 years. "50 years that is happening. And our kids need to know it. And our adults, we need to remind us on this. This is our history, family. This is our history. And we have to understand that. Let me hit that. Let me check out the family here. Okay. Good morning. She stays asleep. Jalen Reloaded. Good morning to you, my brother. Black Beauty, good morning. Thank you so much. But we need to learn about this, family. We need to learn about of 1968, what I was talking about was a permanent year for us as a people. And so really, now let me get this straight. Black Beauty, like I said, good morning. Welcome, my sister. Stuff like that. Appreciate your showed up. Very much appreciated. And I got some more to come. I got some more. I got to pull it up. But I'm glad you show up. Anybody listening, come and join in. And we're going to get it together. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Yeah. Salute to D to the S to the 1. Uncle Shug, Akasha, and me, better known as the Underrated Darkness, aka Well-Rounded Chef JT. No, that's how we do. Oh, before I continue, I gotta tell you about the Russian thing. Well, you know, only go when you want to find out. Go to MSNBC. Go to MSNBC. I believe they talking about it right now, but I'm not sure. I don't have the TV on. But Special Counsel Mueller indicted 13 people that was causing friction. It's gonna be funny when I tell you this. Caused friction in our 2016 elections that helped Trump win. And they trashed Hillary Clinton. Now we know Hillary Clinton don't really rock with us like that. We just saying, but why they cannot do nothing? Because not under our jurisdiction, but at least we know that they helped Trump. And you know what they called them, y'all? DS, especially DS1, you got to hear them. They called them trolls. I'm not making up. They call trolls. So they ain't even international trolls that tell lies and got caught. Trolls. You're always lying. Trolls. Get over it. Trolls. Trolls. Like I said, go to MSNBC and check it out yourselves. Call them trolls. They call them trolls. Isn't that something? See, people be thinking they had trolls just in in social media, but they're actually trolls with the political tool and other aspects. And what happened was they would like cover it for a long time until the U.S. government. I'm talking about the intelligence. They got down and cracked them up, got them. And the trolls had to give it up. But like I said, they can't do nothing because they're not under their jurisdiction and stuff like that. But it's on record now they got caught. So in this USA, they have to strengthen the cyber. They have to develop a strong cyber legislation. And each company of the social media had to work with them now because the Russia is really penetrating of our elections process. And then they've been doing it for a long time, but they've been doing it ever since 2013. And then some Americans had went against that. And you know, there are some countries that when you go against their legislation, if you go against what they say, you could die for that. You get slaughtered. You get your head cut off. And so I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I said, they cannot do nothing about it. But I could say that Orange Crush 45, he part of that. He knew. So I'm saying that we need to pay attention to stuff like this because it does trickle down of our community. Because when we vote, we think when we vote for the right person, but come to find out all this friction be happening, and you know they in collusion with that. So we got to pay attention to stuff like that because, like I said, few months away is the midterm elections. And we have to be very vigilant as a people, work within the system to get what we want. We have to understand the policies. We have to understand the procedures, and we have to understand that we got to talk to our politicians that live. I'm saying that works in our district where we at. We got to put pressure on them and let them know what's up, what you doing to help prevent Russia. I'm not saying they can get rid, but we can slow it down whatever it is. We have to learn what's going on, family. If we go have to get and fight what we need. This is not a joke. This is a natural crisis. Our liberties comes of suspect. We have to understand that. Now I know there's some people, I don't know, JT, you know, it depends because, you know, I don't like it because, you know, bad thinking. Bad thinking. Can't think like that. If you want to make change, do something about it. Because mouthing off is not getting it done. Let me say it again. Mouthing off is not getting it done. We have to be with the process. We have to enforce ourselves within the process. That's the only way we're going to have solutions, family. Do I think it's going to be easy? No. I agree with that. But we got to start from somewhere, because I forgot to throw this in. The Russians even caused conflict with the movements of our people. They send people into this USA to cause friction, to cause fights, to mess with the cyber. Their bodies was in the U.S. soil. That's what you see. Most of them, we don't know that they was like really was into the crowd, especially Republican turnouts. Causing friction, bodily harm. But see, they thought they wasn't gonna get caught, but they did. So we better understand what we into. We got to understand what we against. And I know Trump got his little 30%. Orange Crush 45 got his 30%. Listening, all they all racial. Yeah, we get it. We got it as a people. We get it. But see, they fail to realize that he infringed on their rights too. Like I said last year, in this USA, there's a lot of fickle-minded people. They know it's what's right to do, but they don't want to do it because that hatred is very prevalent. That hatred runs very deep. But we got to take stance. We have to take stance. We have to work together as melanin people. We just cannot have the same method no more. I don't know what to do. And the ones that is in the media, and I'm talking about people look like us, if they do not stand for our rights as a people, but at the certain time they want to stand for a certain class of our people, fuck them. We got to get them out too. We just cannot stand on the side, twiddle our thumbs and our fingers and act like, oh my God, it's going to happen. No, we got to force their hand. You don't do nothing for us, we voting your ass out. You don't push for more independent business in our community, you getting your asses out. If you do not build more, help us build more community centers for our kids, we vote your ass out. If you do not push our curriculum and our legislation for us as a people in This USA, we voting your ass out. If you're not willing to fight for our humanity, we voting your ass out. This how it's got to be, family. This is how it's got to be. It's now or never. We just cannot stand on the sideline and see for what it is and just say, well, it happened like a few years ago. It does make a difference. What Tommie Smith and John Carlos, what they stand for our people, that should be an example. They did not just stand for black men. They did not stand just for black women. They stand for us as a people. They stand for us to be united. They stand for us for our family values and morals and convictions, for our existence. That's what they stand for our humanity of the human race. But every time when we talk about something, it's got to be a certain gender happen. It's got to be. Why we cannot accept that our people fight for our rights? And some of you women, you need to understand that too. And men too. They always say, fight for man's right. I understand, stand up for you. Yeah, I'm saying morally, yeah, right. But in political, is all they just doing is just breaking up the family unit in our community. They don't want us to be together. They don't want us to be united. There's a lot of hitting snowballs that they throwing at us, but we're not looking at it. We refuse to look at it. But you know, we let the snowball roll up, and then when we end the snowball, I wanted to get it out, or it's be too late. Because we didn't win, majority of us, we don't want to heed the warnings. We got to do better, family. Goes for me too. Definitely goes for me too. Trying to pull up something else. You know, breast with JT. Like I forgot to tell you, I had two boys, and I had me some French vanilla coffee, and I had me some orange juice. This was like sometimes, you know, I want to have something, you know, bring something different to the table. No, I'm be doing that a little more, not often. I mean, I'm trying to do a little often, as much as I can. Trying to just put my mark in this, you know? Fellowship, that's what I emphasize. Fellowship within our people. And it's very important. We got to emphasize that. Good morning, Savani B. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I said before. Welcome, sis. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you come back, Black Beauty. Glad you come back. Always a pleasure you come back to the family. come back to the family. I'm gonna probably do one more story, then I'll probably end it. Most likely I might do another one later on, but I'm emphasizing fellowshipping. We have to learn the fellowship with each other. I'm talking about the ones that is striving to be positive, no matter what status you in. But we have to emphasize fellowshipping. The black man and the black woman, very important, family. Very important. Very important. But the things I'm saying about the Russian stuff, I want y'all to go to MSNBC. Let me say it again. MSNBC. That's political. Also, you can check out CNN. It depends. I like MSNBC because they had, to me, it's a broader news than CNN. I like CNN too. Don't get me wrong, I like CNN too, but MSNBC, you would get sometimes when anything pops up, they usually get it first. And so you understand, wherever you listen, it got some, we got some, we have to learn that we part of it too. We have to understand that. We have to, yeah, we have to do better. Mm-hmm. Got another one for y'all. Got another one. One of my heroes too. Barbara Charlene Jordan was an American lawyer, educator, politician who was leading the civil rights movement. She was born on February 21st, 1936. She passed away on February 21st, 1936 in Houston, Texas. Died January 17th, 1996. Domestic partner, Nancy Earl, late 60s. 1996. Education, Boston University, Wheatley High School, Texas Southern University. Siblings, Rosemary Jordan McGowan, Bernie Jordan Criswell. And her quote is, "Do not call for black people or green power. Call for brain power. When the people want, it's very simple. They want America as good as its promise. One thing is clear to me. We as human beings must be willing to accept people who are different from ourselves. Education remains the key to both economics and political empowerment." She was talking about that back in the early 70s. She was the first black woman that ran for president. Very prevalent. We are a people of quandary about the present. We are a people in search of our future. We are a people in search of national community. If you're going to play the game properly, you better know every rule. That's a damn truth. Ain't lying. We don't. That's what we fall for anything, because we don't know how to play by the rules. Okay, a government is it. Why they scratch that word out? I don't understand they do that. invigorate when each of us is willing to participate in shaping the future of this nation. We must change physiological of excuses. What I am is beyond my control. For physiological of responsibility. For all of its uncertain, we cannot flee the future. There is no obstacles in the path of young people who are poor or member of minority groups that hard work and preparation cannot cure. I'm never intend to become a run-of-the-mill person. The late great Barbara Jordan. Barbara Jordan was a U.S. congressional representative from Texas, was the first African-American woman come to the Deep South. She was captured the attention of the late President Lyndon Johnson, who invited her in the White House for a preview of the 1967 Civil Rights Movement. Now, I want to stop it right there. Now, why this president, I said Lyndon Johnson, he was the first president that passed the Votes Act back in '64. That Martin Luther King and others had to help him shape him. Because at that time, he wasn't trying to hear none of that. He's from Texas. They very prejudiced. They very had deep-rooted. Let me explain to you, fam. 30 years before that, this was the same U.S. government was enforcing white supremacist policies that actually has Ku Klux Klan of the Dixie South. I'm talking about Democrats. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about Democrats. The Dixie South. That's where Barbara Jordan was from. So she had to fight through that. Throughout her existence. I just want to drop that on you. So another one that played a pivotal role in our community, in our history. Despite she didn't win, but she helped spearheaded of Geraldine Ferraro, another racist bastard. Back in she was a congresswoman in New York in '84, and other ones. Now, Geraldine Ferraro didn't make it because there was a lot of things people saying it was sexist and stuff, but she was saying some undertone racist stuff too. So, Barbara Jordan had paved the way, just as many women had. And they don't get the credit they deserve. Even you got Shirley Chisholm in Brooklyn that they named a post office after in Ocean Hill, Brownsville, Brooklyn, where I was at. And so when we look of different paths, you got Barbara Jordan and Shirley Chisholm took different paths, but they fought for our humanity, for our existence. Tommy Smith John Carlos, and even distant Peter Norman distantly respect our existence. And of his own way, he fought with us. See, there are some people be thinking, oh, ain't no way people had not fight for our rights. There's quite a few people had fight for us and as a people. Even past civil rights. But you won't hear from them. I mean, you won't hear from other people right now. We have to understand that it's cool that they paid their way, but we could take their spirit and pave our own way for the generations that we're on right now. Now, people say, no, I ain't go. There's some people saying in our community, they say, no, you know, we shouldn't, we gotta forget them. No, don't forget about them. No, they made history for us. No, never forget about them. Talk about them. But at the same time, we gotta remind ourselves about them. But we could take their spirit and we gotta pave our own path for others could follow too. And I feel that's what our ancestors want us to do. I'm talking about the famous and the not so famous. That's what they want us to do. So we have to be on our job, because Barbara Jordan was on her job. The late great Barbara Jordan was on her job. The late great Shirley Chisholm was on her job. Now Shirley Chisholm, like that, you know, she was fighting for women's rights and all like that. But I'm gonna give credit to, she did fight for us and everything. But for me, I had a little trouble with that. But I might do a story about that in the near future. I don't know. But she'll pay the way. Jesse Owens, Jesse Owens, yeah. But John Carlos and Tommy Smith, they paved the way for us to be in this position. And we could learn from them. We could learn many lessons about them. We can. And I know sometimes you got some people, oh, why? Why is prayer for us? Because it is very important. Because they took time out themselves to understand it's not about them, it's about us as a people. So they put their bodies on the line for us. Are we willing to put our bodies on the line for the ones, to the younger ones? Now, there's going to be some of our people who do not want it. I'm not saying it. The ones who do not want it, that's on them. They have to act. They have to answer to that. No problem. And I'm cool with that. Because not all of us would get the message. But the others, but the rest of us, we got to stand on our core right now. Let me repeat that. So let me get a sip of this juice. Let me say it again, family. We have to stand on our core right now. We have to. Time do not wait for us. We have to learn to adapt with the times, just as the people that I mentioned. They adapt with the times, and they became victorious, and they life and their history lived on. So we can learn from that. We do have examples in our community, but sometimes some of us we don't, because we figure our thinking, or I can do what I want. I don't have to listen to them. Okay, if you want to have that near-minded thinking, stay the hell away from me. They put their bodies and their spirit on the line for us. And why we cannot respect that? I wonder why that majority, I'm not saying all of us, but I'm saying some, why we can't respect it. Why, I'm talking about on YouTube, why we can't respect the ones who bring in good information. Why we can't respect that? Why we gotta set people got this big name, big channels, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with it, because if it's good, great information, I'm going to do that. I'm going to read them. But sometimes we let that egotistic get into the picture. But see, the people that I mentioned, nobody ain't known them when they was growing up. But see, they had a plan, and they stuck to their plan. And even though people was laughing at them, they became victorious because they understood then it ain't all about me. It's all about our people and our humanity. No matter what level it is. We can learn from them. I know I am. And I know the people in the chat. I'm going to go to the chat, check on who came in. I appreciate that. Let me see something. Nah, I'll check that out later. But it just, for me, I just got to keep it going. I have to. I cannot let up. I cannot let up. But I can tell you one thing. We could learn from each other. And I'm talking about the ones that is striving to do positive things. We could learn from each other. We can get on each other for the betterment of ourselves first, and throughout for our community, for our people. And to understand that we part of this humanity, we part of this human race. And we had every right to stand up and be part of the human race. I feel I feel that in my lifetime, that's what I want. I want other nationalities to know that we part of the human race too. To let them know that you causing confusion within our community, within our people globally. And I know you part of this white supremacist umbrella. I'm talking about the mindset and the concept and the legislation. That's what I'm talking about. I guess God make me that way to fight. And I'm going to keep on fighting. Now, us as a people, do I need to say something? What we do, we could conflict, do harm to ourselves? Yeah, I got to talk about that too. I got to be fair about it. Black men act like bitches. Come on, let's strengthen our brotherhood. Let women solve their own problems. Us men, we solve our own problems. Stop sipping. Stop acting like simple hoes. Women, stop being masculine and be a woman. Stop listening to what society defines for who you are. And I'm talking about us as a people. We always come from families. We already know each other's struggle. Let's work together and keep our family strong. Black man and a black woman. That's what it's all about, family. That's what it's all about. Like I said, JT ain't gonna get it right all the time. I'm not. Man, might be say certain things, it might be wrong. You hear what I'm saying? Or my message might be hard, or maybe like that. But hey, I know I mean well. I know most of the time I'm talking about, I know I'm talking the truth. Like I said, I'm living proof. I see things in my lifetime that I know we could do better when we find solutions together. The black man and the black woman. I don't want to cause destruction no more between the black man and the black woman. I don't want to do that no more. Like I said, DH1 hangout last night. JT Blackness has to come out because JT Blackness was getting slayed. So after the day over, JT Blackness had to go back in the closet and lock it up. That's why I have to explain to your family that the underrated darkness and the well-rounded JT, I had to put him on the side because I was under attack and others. See, of that time, you gotta defend for your existence. And there's nothing wrong defending for your existence when you have falsified parasite motherfuckers do not know what they talking about. That they don't have no value within themselves. And I'm not talking about the ones that is trying, who been hurt, that nobody's not, they turning back on them. I'm not talking about those type of people. No, I'm not talking about that. We got to help them to understand you have potential too. Just as people in the past had helped me. But I'm talking about the ones who want to keep on causing friction, want to keep on causing destruction. We gotta let them we gotta let them go because they're gonna stop our growth. They're gonna stop our growth. And sometimes when you stand up and be right, sometimes it's gonna be a few people, but it's okay though. You're on the right path. Don't tell me I don't exist. Don't tell me I have the right to fight what I believe in. I'm talking within myself and for our people. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that I have the right to fight for that black woman so she could exist in our family. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that I cannot fight for our brothers, for our brotherhood, so we could be strong leaders and better leaders for our family. Don't tell me that. You have to take my ass out. because I love our people. Now, when I'm talking about our people, I'm talking about the ones that are very selectively wants to hear this. That's what I'm talking about. Because when I came in the concert community in '85, it used to be all about community. But it's not all about community no more. It really ain't. It's all about getting over. It's all about having an orgy. It's all about scheming. It's all about underhanded stuff. I'm not saying throughout the years that there's some good people come out, because yes, it has been good come out. And I've seen it myself. Not talking about that. But all this things I just said, it had talk about more. I met some beautiful people throughout the years. That some of them is no longer here. But they made a mark. I'm talking about the ones who's in the streets that is talking. I'm talking about the ones that put their body on the line and make sure that I'm one of the few that is okay, that they help me so I could pave the way. Look, I ain't all about it's all about me, yo. I'm doing this. Ain't me. That's not me. I take my walks, check out where I'm at. I do that, yeah. I do it. I don't have to let everybody know, because we got to understand the system too. Because sometimes when we put our business out, sometimes the oppressor, they can infiltrate. And we got to understand that too. They think, oh, they infiltrate back then, like in '68, what I was talking about, even beyond that too. But see, they got technology now. They more sophisticated. So that means we have to be 2 or 3 or 4 times, maybe 10, 11, whatever it is, ahead of them. I remember on the Breakfast Club, I don't know, it was a year and a half, 2 years later, that our sister in our community, Jill Scott, a good sister that made some beautiful music for our people. She says sometimes our movement got to be in the dark. We got to work within the smoke. We cannot let everybody know what we're doing. And that's a great point that our sister Jill Scott said. And I've been saying that for years. Hey man, I think we should let's do it this. Nah, man, we gotta listen, look, don't have the numbers to fight. Let's do it this way. We can make things happen. And along the way, we could, man, fuck that JT. Okay. Sometimes we don't like to listen to other people. We don't like to be, like I always say, like we don't like to be team players. I always going to mention it, and I always going to emphasize it, because we have to understand that you cannot be a leader all the time. There's nothing wrong. Somebody leads you, long as the same result come out. What's the difference? What's the difference? I give you a case in point. I can say a certain thing like this. If Akasha say, yo, brother, I got a good idea. All right, if it's a good idea, I fall back. I'm a team player. Long as we get to the same result, long as it enhance our community, And our people, what's the difference? Be a team player. But now, a lot of us, we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to do that. Because that's when you becoming egotistic. You think about yourselves instead of the movement. Like I always say, you want to be the information instead of part of the information. See, when you fall back and be a team player, you letting yourself and other people know, I want to be part of the information and I want to play my part. That's what it means. Egotistical means I want to keep the information for myself and I don't want to share it with others. And you wonder why are we in this predicament right now, fam? Now, the ones in the chat, not talking about the ones in the chat, whoever watching, but y'all know who, y'all know some. I know you know some. And you know what I'm talking about is right. Again, I'm living proof. And I know you know some. And these are the parasites. We got to get them out. These parasite chokers. These parasite wannabe cultural chokers, they got to go. Let me say it again. We got to get out these parasite cultural chokers out. They should have no part in our community. I don't care you a black man. I don't care you a black woman. If you're not all about our deliverance, if you're not all about our movement for humanity of the human race that we deserve to be in, take your ass away and croak. We don't need you. We don't need you. I'm gonna check chat again. Strange Magic. Welcome. Glad to have you. Welcome to the Darkness Awakens Hangout. Welcome, Strange Magic. There's nothing confusing in my book. I'm gonna say, like I said, Strange Magic, I'm an alpha male. I hold my own nuts. I stand on my own truths. That's how it is. That's how it is. And I'm not trying to pretend, oh yeah, JT know it all. I don't know it all. No, I know I'm still learning. I'll be 52 this year. I'm still learning. But I know what I'm talking about. There's a quite few parasite cultural chokers. They could talk all that squibbly little fake ass jazz. But what you got to show for it? Why are you taking our people to a certain plan that you know that's not going to work? Now, if you want to be in your bullshit, go right ahead. This is how I feel. A person could talk, but if I feel that if that person is not living proof of he or she, what they talking about, I'm not listening to them. Nah, no, no. Or you know of it. If you can't even stand on it, no. No. Now, I mean, no. Because to me, I'm going to say, what's your growth? What you learn from it? Like I said, to the D to the S to the 1 hangout, I gained 1 subscriber last night. So you know what? I start from the bottom up. I gain 100. I gain 100 subscribers. So whatever I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm saying. And I stay on my own truth, and I stay on my own truths. And I know my own truths is resonate to other people because they go through it. And that's what I want. I know I can't reach everybody. I want to reach some. And the ones I want to reach me too. I want to be motivated too. Not everybody cannot be on Front Street, all lights and everything, and you want to be glorified. Nah. If you want to be part of that, that's on you. But where your truth's at? Where's your motivation? There's nothing wrong to get accolades. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying no. I would get my just due in time. I just want to do the work that the ones that want to be heard, that the ones that want to be heard. We got to change our mindset, family. We got to change our mindset. And everything what I'm saying so far, it goes for me too. It goes for me too. It goes for me too. We in a crisis, family, every level of our existence. Let me say it again. We're in a crisis of every level of our existence. And we have to find a way to keep our existence important, firstly, foremost to ourselves, and spread out for our community. It's not easy to fight my own existence. It ain't. I've been doing it all my life. To me, I've always been a warrior of my life. Hey, that's who I am. But I know sometimes there's certain things that seem gloomy. I see certain things that damn, we're not getting it right. And I know somewhat in the past, I've been part of that. I want to be a solver, not destruction no more. Let me say it again. I don't want to be, I want to be a solver, not destruction no more. We have to engage more. We had to engage our people that is striving. Even though that you don't know them, you should engage. Don't look for the, oh, they're gonna prove me wrong and stuff. No. Let's get that insecure stuff out. You got that person, are you all right? You need somebody to talk to? Because you don't know what the next person go through. Just like a lot of y'all, it's like a lot of y'all don't know what I go through. Yeah, I smile and everything. Yeah, I go through a lot of shit too. But I don't let everybody know. But I know one thing, I'm still here. But I go through a lot of stuff. I do. I don't let everybody know, but I do. But by me doing this on my hangout right now, and while my voice is spreading out now, like I said, I could reach some. I know I could reach, or I could reach some. This is my therapy for me, to be with y'all. Y'all inspiration to keep me going. I'm not saying that if I didn't have y'all, no. Because I do have self-reliance in myself. There's no doubt about that. But there's nothing wrong getting the push, right? And sometimes we don't even want to accept that. Oh, that person, that, well, you know, maybe, all right, you got hurt, but it doesn't mean that other person going to hurt you, right? I have to understand that too. Oh, good morning, Charles Willie. My sister, excuse me. Welcome. I'm glad that you showed up. I really am. Matter of fact, I'm going to put my hashtag in the chat. Yeah, I could do that. That's my hangout. Yeah. But we have to try to stay clear from different parts of negatively, of the thinking, the emotional, and the physical part. We have to. We have to understand there are some of our people do not want help. It's a hurtful thing to say. It's true. I have to understand it too. I don't want to understand it, and I still don't want to understand it. I believe, you know, we suffer a lot in slavery and everything that deals with the legislation and the crudeness and injustices that sometimes is not being talked about. And that's understandable. We have to talk about stuff, but there are some that premeditated do not want to. They just don't want to. And it's sad because they're missing out an opportunity to get themselves better and grow. And that's the sad thing about it. We don't want to take the necessary hard steps to grow. There goes my hashtag. I stand fire. Sometimes I look at it and I see for what it is. And I stand firm with that. And Charles Willie, I know you come late. I know you got a lot of things. I know you're doing a lot of things. And I respect your existence. I respect your contribution. I respect everybody's contribution on this chat. And it's greatly appreciated. The Darkness Awakens had appreciate each of y'all make an impact in our community. And y'all are greatly appreciated. Maybe there are some do not want to acknowledge you, but I acknowledge you. I'm going to go to the chat again. Then I'm going to end this. I think that I run my mouth too much. You know, I appreciate that, Child Willie. And others that want to copy my hashtag to be greatly appreciated. Oh, I'm just saying, family. We have the right to exist in this human race. We have the right to fight to belong of this human race. We have the right. And the ones of some of our community who refuse to be part of it, they got to go. You don't have to be famous to fight for your existence. Let me say it again. You don't have to be famous to fight for our existence. And the rest of y'all, it'd be very nice to look at my hashtag and please copy it down. Let other people know this is serious. We give up too fast. I ain't giving up. I'm still fighting. And I'm fighting for the ones who wants to be part of this. That's what I want. And I'm going to do it. My late father and my mother still living. They gave birth to me. They actually let me know I have the right to exist. I'm not giving my life to the oppressor. Hell to the fucking no. Hell no. That's what the Black Panther had showed me too. When I was little. Stand up. That's how I respect the civil rights movement back then. Even though there are some people that really fight for certain rights and you know, certain way, okay, that could be debatable, but they stand up for their existence. They stand up for what's right. And even white people, Chinese, and the other ones has marching. They stand up for their existence, but they stand up for us too. I have the right as a black man to live. I have the right to succeed. I don't want to hear you give me that right. I'm taking it. I'm claiming it. I have the right. And I cannot be stopped. Appreciate that, brother. She stay asleep. I appreciate you. Really do. Peace to you and your foundation. Keep it up, brother. You doing it. Savannah B, keep it up. You're doing it. Shaw Willie. Keep it up, you doing it. Let me move up. Strange May, keep it up, you doing it. Show Academy. Alchemy, keep it up, you doing it. Black Beauty, keep it up, you doing it. Jalen, keep it up, you doing it. Wherever you're doing positive, family, keep it up. Just remember, the more you improve yourself, positive, it's going to be more negativity come. Well, we got to brush that off. We got to see for what it is. We got to see that the devil comes in many forms. And we got to see for what it is and debunk that and stand against that. Goes for me too. This is what it is. And on that point, I appreciate you, family, so much. Let's go get it. No, let me rewind it back. I'm going to set my hashtag. Family, let's get another championship for our existence. And I'm Ghost.